Liam McNuckles here. I apologize. My voice is completely fucked. I'm gonna try and get through this. I've been jamming with some dudes lately, and I took my whole setup to a dude's house, and he was just like, I didn't know you were gonna bring your, I said bring your board, but I just figured you'd bring a piece of your board. I showed up with the, really sorry, I showed up with the whole fucking thing, and it was pretty funny. Like, we didn't regret it, and he didn't really, I don't think he was pissed, because it's not like I left it there for longer than 3 hours. But I just want to show you the special setup I've got going on here. Special to me, I don't know, like, I've been doing this, I don't know, I'm getting old, not gonna tell you how the fuck old I am, but pretty long time, and I think I did it pretty proper this time, considering there's like 50 fucking pedals, and you really have to be careful not to, like, I don't know, unless you're like, I don't know, My Bloody Valentine or something, to where, like, I don't know, A, money's not really a thing, and B, like, it's just kind of like that's part of what you're going for. You just have to be so careful. But I'm going to show you what I've got going on here, and hopefully try and dispel a lot of, hate about larger pedal boards. It seems like a lot of guys who are against, having, 30 or 40 or 50 or however many pedals are the same guys who are, have like 50s, Champ with a 50s Telly, through to like two really nice reverse engineered like drives, and then a built-in like spring reverb that's to die for or something. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, but I can fucking do that with this shit. You can't tell me that I fucking can't. And they weren't really concerned with. They were just concerned with getting shit to work back then, by any means necessary. And it sounded great. And I mean, unless you're using, copper contacts and shit like that, like, really you're not. I don't know, like, I don't use loopers. It's a little bit intimidating to me to have, one more thing to worry about. Like, I enjoy the tap dance. I really think that it's just like really visceral, to sit here barefoot and just like, I don't know, rub your fucking feet on some pedals, and so let's get to it. I guess that's enough, sucking your dick. I'm gonna suck my own. First thing, you got the optical volume, and this is a Morley pedal. It's really cool. It's funky, but I like the funkiness. It doesn't mute it all the way, but I don't use it for that. Like, I use like half volume, quarter volume. Basically, this is just like if I can't get to my volume knob, I mean, I do my swells and shit with that, plus having my volume here is advantageous in allowing me to adjust my volume without like fucking up my gain tone. So yeah, we start here, and then this is just a one spot. It's, doesn't require a lot of milliamperage. And then we pop into here, the Hatsune Miku pedal, which is nice. I don't know, I can't really record it, I can't show it to you, really. As far as I know, like, it's copyright infringement, and I don't want to get sued. I'm that dude. But from there, we go to the Mel 9, which is a really nice Mellotron thing. What I like to do with it is I set it pretty low, and then I set my dry sound pretty high, and that works really nice for a nice, like, almost like a shimmery thing, but not really reverberated. It's just like, it's like a side-by-side thing. And I do the same thing with the Synth 9, and that's got some, some pretty good, Voyager sounds, Jupiter sounds, whatever. It's, yeah, you can do, pardon me, you can do Rush with that, you can do Van Halen with that, it's nice. Then this is the Data Corruptor. It's like a phase lock loop pedal. It gives you like fuzz, oscillation, and then like a subharmonic thing. It's really cool. It's there's out of all of my things, that's probably the biggest learning curve right there. But once I learned it, it's really nice. It's and I've got a different definition of nice than most of you, I'm sure, but to me it's really nice. And from there we go to the whammy pedal, and this is a whammy 5. This has my favorite settings of the recent whammies, the ones that A, aren't made of shit, and B, are readily available. You can get some whammy 2s pretty cheap out there, though. I've seen them. And from there we go to the Sonus Wahoo, and I don't really use it in the conventional way that you'd use a wah. I use it for more of the filtering, and I use it for some of the auto wah stuff. This guy is controlling the sweep of my bitmap up there. And then this is a Jim Dunlop Veriphase. It's like a phase 90 in a rocker pedal. You adjust the speed with the pedal with the rocker instead of like the knob. And then after that we go into this buffer under the pedal board, which is it's an Empress buffer, and it also has a tuner out for this guy here. And from there we go to the Arpanoid. Then this I use as an 8-step sequencer, and I've got it set pretty drastically right now, but I generally will keep it pretty low in the mix, but I added up high to mix it to where I could use it. And then this compressor pedal is really nice. I'm not really sold on where to put that yet. I've tried it kind of in front of all this stuff, and it seems like it creates a little bit more hair in front of shit than otherwise. I don't know why that is. I'm running the accurate milliamperage to it and all that stuff, but but I like it. This is my favorite compressor. I got it from my buddy, who I love, who I will let remain anonymous. Same guy. I got this from this EP booster. I really like that. I've got it almost all the way down. It's just kind of a flavor thing, like a coloration. And then from there, I go up to the Hoof Reaper, and yeah, I use these exact settings. The tone on this got bumped there, but I like that a lot. I use the octave in conjunction with some other fuzzes, but from there we go to the Jago fuzz, and this is Dwarfcraft, and it's really nice. For a while I wanted to get like 3 of these things, and just use one for the fuzz, use one for the clean boost, and then use one as like an overdrive type thing. But I thought it would be stupid because I don't know what else is out there, but I'm still gonna get some more of them because I love them. And then the Muffaletta, and this is really nice. It's my favorite one I'm using right now. It's the JHS one, and I'm always messing with the tone knob on this. It's not really, I mean, out of all my pedals, I probably fuck with this one the most, because it sounds so good no matter where I have it, and I really like it a lot. Then this louder I like a lot. I'm thinking about putting this somewhere else in the board. I got this from my friend who gave me these boys. He's a sweetheart and I love him. But it's really cool. He basically told me that he had a buddy fix it, and he couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. He asked me if I was into circuit bending, and I was like, no, but I like pedals, you know. And so I busted it open at his house, and the chip was in backwards. So I told him about it, and he's like, huh, crazy. Well, I'm like, do you want it back? And he's like, well, do you like it? I'm like, fuck yeah, I like it. And so I kept it, and yeah, I'm very thankful. And the Klon, or not the Klon, it's basically a Klon. It's a J-Rocket Archer Icon. This is nice. See, that's the thing, is I want to try this on the other side of the compression, but it's a lot of futzing around, and I don't really use more than one drive at a time. And if I do, then it's usually just a clean boost to bring it up in the mix. But from there, we come to our Sweet Tea version 3, and I like this a lot. The right side, I believe, is like a tube screamer, and then the left side is like a JCM 800. And I like to blend in a little bit of clean on the right side, and then the left side is just like, I don't know, like those settings right there, just kind of, I was messing with it today. It's not how I keep it. And then we go to the Gatekeeper, which is a nice little, I don't know, you just like set 2 thresholds there, and the threshold and the release, and it's I don't know, it's okay. It's just, I don't really know a lot about noise gates, and that was a small one, and I had that much room on my board, so I went with that one. From there, really special, we go into this head, which is a Yorkshire Custom Special from Trainer. These were, I don't know, they're really nice in the early 2000s. I really like Trainer heads. They kind of just like ooze, like kind of, I don't know, like almost like have that Sun vibe about them, but I don't know, a lot of the Sun heads were solid state. I mean, you can get, you know, they had tube Sun heads, of course, but these are tube. But what I do, I come out of the back of that and into this 112 Mesa Boogie Express Series cab, and it has a 80-watt Celestian Shadow in it. But I come out of the headphone out. That's right, headphone out. Headphone out. But I come out of the headphone out, and I do like a stereo to mono split, and then I go back into this head. So I've got two preamp sections that I'm working with, which is so cool when you're like, you know, shaping tones and things. And that's why I'm using this, like, I've got this kind of Radio Shack kind of cable, is because it's stereo to mono. And then from there I come back to I come into the volume pedal, and then it's like a VP Junior, you know. I like the travel on it. I used my tuner out of it for a really long time, and I noticed some tone suck, which I hate to like admit that I'm one of those dudes, but I kind of am. It's just like, don't use like 50 pedals, dumbass. But no, it's not, I don't know, like there's, you know, I can help it and have 50 pedals, you know, it's fine. But, so I just use the tuner out on the buffer instead, and we're all good. I've had another one of these that broke to shit, and then, I don't know, they need to strengthen their string or something, because they're cool. I like to travel, but I don't know, it's kind of bullshit that things are made to break. From there, I go to the hologram dream sequence, and that's pretty cool. It's really intuitive, like tremolo. I don't know, like you can do editing, and you can do like really deep, like just, program whatever you want, but I don't know, with all this stuff, except for the H9s and my Nemesis pedal, I use just presets. Like, I don't, it's fine. I hope that you can hear me. Like, I feel like if I talk louder, I'll just sound like I don't have my pubes yet. But I feel like Barry White, and I love it. Alright, moving on. On to the Infinite Jets resynthesizer from Hologram. I don't know what this pedal is, but I love it. It just kinda, it's like a reverb, but it's not a reverb. I don't know. It's kind of in the same school as that Particle, but different. I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's just like, it's the ghost of your tone, but it's like a happy ghost, if that makes sense. It's like the Casper pedal. From there, we go to the Rainbow Machine, and I use it pretty sparingly, except for when I have the magic mode engaged. I go balls out. And then we go to the Particle, and I use the reverse mode, the pitch mode. The density mode's really cool for texturing and things. It's very like 80s synth sounding to me. It's not what it is, but it sounds, I don't know, it's really cool. It's a little, I don't know, sensitive, I'd say, but I don't know, I haven't really put in the hours with that pedal. Like, I have, but it's really intricate, hard to recall the settings, but I love it, like the randomness of it is just kind of endearing. From there we go to the Echo Dream 2, which is Death by Audio pedal out of, I don't know, somewhere in New York, Brooklyn, I think. But they're really cool. They make their shit really interactive. This does, modulation, it does fuzz. I don't mess with that stuff, just because it kind of, I got that stuff other places, but it's really close to like a Memory Man sounding delay. It does that, Johnny Greenwood thing that I love. From there, we go to the Nemesis, and I've put in a lot of hours with this. It's a source audio pedal, and then it has an app that you can use called Neuro for like Droid, and I think, I'm a Droid boy, but a lot of Apple guys might be out there. It's worth a grab. From there, I go to the Timeline, and I've put in a little time with this pedal. I need to spend more time with it because it's really interesting, but it's also not really as intuitive and quick to use as that one. It's just bigger and kind of intimidating, but it's really interesting. I have not even heard all of the presets, but I like it. It's I don't know, it didn't blow me away because I found my Nemesis first, but it is cool, and it does warrant its real estate. And then I'm controlling it with a multi down there, and I just use it as the looper function. And then I've got the Source Audio 1 series tab down there that I use for switching presets on my Nemesis. From the Timeline, we go to the reverb pedal, and then it's cool. I got it for the shimmer, but the shimmer is kind of, I don't know, cheesy sounding, so I mean, it's cheesy for what I thought I was going to get. There's like a lower octave thing that I could do with a reverb in my whammy, but I really like the ghost setting. And there's other stuff in there. There's a modulation reverb. Like, I just, I'm in love with anything lo-fi. That just, I'm an 80s kid, so anything that just sounds like vinyl, it just gets my panties wet. And then we go to the context, and this is a really cool pedal. I use it for just the gated setting. It's really nice, really consistent, drop off of the hit or whatever. It's fun for drum machines and other things that aren't guitars. And then from there, we go to a bone stock DL4 pedal, and it's just for looping only. And then we go to another one back there, and this one is modded by Nose Pedal, and it has a right button up there that it will automatically engage the looper, and then the left button beside it engages the dotted eighth note that it does just automatically. And then we pop out of our buffer and then to the flyboard, which is really fun. I just take this top board places, or that's the plan anyway. But I just I get excited and I take everything usually. But yeah, so this bitmap here I use for kind of like a crush, like modulation sweep thing, and it's controlled with this EV5, pardon me. And then we go to the Fixed Effectors Fixed Fuzz Deluxe, and to be quite honest, I do not use it when it's hooked up to everything. Only when it's in flyboard, mode, when it's that top row, I use it. And it might be my favorite fuzz, so I need to get more of them, I think. But yeah, I mean, it can do, it can almost do about all this fuzz stuff, and then overdrives I can do with the H9s. But yep, we come out of there, we go into this guy, the Mobius, and I've got it in the loose mode right now, which is like a lo-fi thing, not far off from the bitmap. And really, it's just when it's at this point in my chain, I really don't want to. I don't want modulation unless it's tremolo or something. So I've just it's just basically like just chops out all of my lows and my low mids, and it's just really trebly and really like that lo-fi thing I was talking about. It's in the Destroyer patch, which I don't know. Like, I wish that you could just go like this and get to things, but you can't. It's fucking stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Strymon stuff is, I don't know. It's really cool, but it doesn't like. It sounds good. It's hard to use. But then again, it's just because like I can do all that on my H9 with my phone through the H9 app. What is it called? The I don't know. I don't remember right now. But it's Control. But yeah, I come out of this into the H9 Max, and I use this for lots of stuff because it's right here. I can I do like fuzz and overdrive things mostly, which is kind of weird, but it's fun. Like, it's cool to like try and hear something and mimic it, and that it's really rewarding. And then an H9 standard, and this is kind of like an arpeggiation type thing. And right now I've got them in totally different settings than I would normally have them in, because it's all hooked up together. And I don't know, I've got patches set up to where like it'll be, kind of, correct as far as what's supposed to go in front of the other for it to like theoretically sound the way that it's supposed to, or what I'm going for more than anything. I mean, Eddie Van Halen, he just ran delays into his into his, front of his amp, and that's awesome. He that's why I've got so much shit. Like, where I got it is so I can do stuff like that. But yeah, so H9 Max, H9 Standard, 3 H9 cores. These aren't the settings that I use. I was just, I've been playing all day. It's late at night. My voice is blown, not from doing anything more than being an asshole. And then from there we go to our PV KB300 head, and it's kind of weird. I've got like all these crazy awesome pedals and a PV head, or an amp, not a head. It's a combo. It's a 115, 300 watts, I want to say, but I don't know. My reasoning behind that is that there's so many, old 80s, 70s concert videos with like you're not hearing the amps, you dumbass. You're hearing the amps through the PA. And I want that. I don't give a shit if it's like, not as cool. Like, I want to hear it through a PA. But I mean, this gives me the option of a lot of things doing it this way. It's like, I don't know, when I've got these on, because I generally have them in standby, and the reason I have them in standby is because you don't even have to fuck with the power amp sections. I'm only using the preamps, except for on the bottom head. I don't, but the top one, just in standby all the time. It just, you don't need it on because there's not a speaker hooked up to it. You don't want to fuck it up. But, yeah, it's, I like it a lot. It's cool. I don't know, I'm running out of stuff to say. Questions, comments, concerns, too much, too little. Anybody want to hear it? Hear it. I'm really sorry about this voice I got going on. It's not really, I don't know, it's not cool. It's not, it's manly when it's not squeaking, maybe. I don't know. Then other stuff, what else is going on? Oh yeah, so I've got this other board up here, and this is, I don't really use it. It's for when people come over. Tin pedal, it's nice. It's kind of farty right now, and that's why I don't use it. But to tell you the truth, I prefer JHS stuff. I'm pretty sure their overdrives are just nicer to me, nicer to my ear. But we come out of that into the phase shifter, the PH3, and that's really nice. I use it in like step sequence type phase mode when I'm on it, but I don't know. Last person that used this was a bassist, which is kind of weird, but it sounded good. I was there. It sounded good. Fuck you. I don't care what you think. It sounded good. CE20, which is, I don't know, it's kind of digital for my ear, but I do like it. It sounds, I like to play bass through it. It just, for no other reason than it just sparkles, and it thins it out just enough to where, when I'm playing with other people that use like Boss pedals, it adds a continuity. But yeah, I love Boss pedals. I love DoD pedals. I love, Digitech stuff. I've got tons of pedals over there that are just, I sub them in and out, in and out. I sub them in and out all the time. Oh yeah, this thing. I've got a Roland GR20 pedal that I use sometimes, and that goes directly into there. And then occasionally I will take the guitar out from it and then put it into one of those, and then it takes some rearranging. But it's well worth it, and I need to do that again sometime. But really, I need to get a few more of those divided synth pickups, because I don't, really use the guitars that have those anymore. Strats and things. It's not that I don't like them, they just don't sound good for what I have to do. And then there's the PK5A. I do not have it hooked up at the moment. It's cool for just bass stuff, and I've got a little bass module down there. It's like a, I guess you can't see it. Let's see, yep, there it is. So yeah, that's just like a, generic B3 module from somewhere, Joe Schmo. I'm gonna shut that off now. And then, yeah, when I don't have a guest over, I've got this hooked up to these things here. These are the Electro-Harmonix RTG and the APC, and it's just, this is really cool. It's Synthrotech, and it's just, little $50 kit thing that I bought, that they assembled for me, and those things are held together by I've got a ABY switch under the board,